Sorry. Good evening, my friends, investor into the markets as well as the new investors especially. Today, I'll speak something for those investors who already made huge losses in the market. In the beginning of my market time, in the year 1993, 1994, I remember I had a great loss into the market. Like I was very young ages. I started working into some enterprise and whatever the saving I had. Prior to that, I had private tuitions and all I carried out while being in the colleges as well as for the professionals studies and all. I used to spend time with the money only. Now, I say you one thing, reality, I understood later on, and this is only the equations. Like, reality of life is when you have money and you have prosperity, people will come to you, not only your relatives. Everywhere you are praised and you will be gladly accepted. When you have a bad times, you will find that rarely people are meeting you and calling you. This happens in the practical life. But we will not mind all these things. These are the reality and practicals. We should not ignore the person who, I say, hated you or who disappeared when you were in the real trouble times. This is the practicals. You prosper yourself, people will come automatically. If I am telling this fact, only those investors who had lost great in the markets. I had also lost great money. My whole savings at my young age, I lost at the young age itself. When I started, Harsat Mehta, you heard the name. In the 1993-94, I went on buying, leaving everything, like reading the prospectus and finding, these are the like earning possibilities of the company. And if I become the owner partially by purchasing the equity in the markets, I become owner, I'll be sharing all profit over there. But in reality, what's happened? Later I understood, like many prospectus are written, this is the fact, are in such a way you are motivated, an investor puts money into that. It happened then. And we found like many stock without fundamental event and crazy promoters were there. They put some client and giving you the stories and all, and SEBI was not that much tight enough and there was an issue and people subscribed mainly into all, and then they found price started moving up 3 times, 4 times after it is listed, and they bought all of the money, the new issues and all, and market collapsed, and they had a hardly chance to sell their existing equities, and on the hope of getting back their money, they sink, and it happened with me also. And but I should not mean that you should not have a hope. You have a hope of your work. Prior to that, you should be ready enough. You should understand the reality of market. You must read yourself only. Prior to reading the market as well as the individual stocks and all. Sorry. Now, I say one story. We should never leave hope. I had a great loss, I recovered loss. It took time, like 7 years, 6 years. I got back my money. That whatever my money I lost from 2000, 1993, 1994, 1995, I start getting back from the slowly, 97, 96, 98, 99. By 2000, I recovered money. Now, I say you the one story, keep your hopes, think technically, read the market, individual stocks, not only the cycle as I defined in my two previous videos, the cycle of stock market, you have to have understand the cycle of individual industry, individual sectors, as well as the cycle of the markets, as well as the cycle of the individual stock. That is, within a set, there is a subset also. Once you can read the set as a whole, subset also, reading become easy. Now, what I say you the one story regarding the hope. Now, what is hope? I remember one story, I seen that movie also. I know many of you not knowing, some of you might be knowing the story, many of you not knowing the story because most of the people are busy, they are not observing the movies and all. I'll tell you the story in very short. One ship which went on sailing in the sea, carrying like many peoples, like thousands, almost peoples. In a storm at night, the whole ship sank into the sea. Only one person rescued himself, and he found himself in the very next morning on the beach of a island. And the island, he found nobody is there, nobody, not a single. And he found the ship already sank and dead bodies are floating on the river. Some dead body came. He tried himself to find out somebody is alive or not. And he's finding like the sea, he is a very large sea, and he could not find anybody who is there. The island was not very large enough. He went around the island throughout the day, and in the evening of that day himself, that he found that nobody is alive, and this island is very small, and within the sea there is no person to help him. He waited there and he tried to put some flag signals to somebody visit him. 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks lapsed. And in the night it was too much cold, he felt cold. He found no food over there, and he could not find even any fishes. Nothing is there. And he tried to get some fire using the story he heard about, and hardly then he found no result was coming. And after like passing 3-4 days, very cold, even in the morning he felt cold, he felt fever even, and no heart even, nothing is there. But in the night he found like all beasts and animals in the forest, from the forest inside, coming and making sound, animals eating each other. He went upon a tree and he found, even beneath, he found the animal eating each other for their food. No food is there. And while he was on the up, he found certain typical type of foods. He got angry very much, hungry very much, and he had the food, unknowingly food. It could be a person, but in the morning he felt something like, okay, I had a food at night. Then in the morning when the sun rises, he came down, he tried to find out some like coconut tree, and went up on the coconut tree, very painfully went up and tried himself much and found certain coconut. He ate the coconuts. By hand only he opened the coconut animals because there is no way. And after that, he took the leaves of the open coconut tree and tried to build some huts on the tree on the upper side of a like stones and all, and tree was there. And in the night, for the night, he tried to light some fires, and ultimately he could by with the help of stones and all. And later on, he was habituated to fire because he tried very much and he could do it with the stones and some wooden species and all. And in the morning, every time he tried for the food and all, he was in the hope, okay, somebody will come and rescue him, and always looking towards the sea, nobody is there. And one day, the surrounding hills, he found no food. He went little bit inside with the rigs because without food he cannot live. He cannot. He has to die without food. See, so he went inside the forest, deep forest, where he found the animal and all, but by applying intelligence, he had certain food, unknown foods from the forest, and those he bought and had himself. Again, next day he went there for the search of food because he has to live, and he is having families and all in the cities, in the towns from where he belongs to. He is remembering his sons, wife, relative, friends, everything. And he is on the hope, okay, one day somebody will come, some person will come and rescue some city, he will visit, will come here and rescue him. And he went every day there. One day he found, while coming back, whatever the fire which he made it, knowingly for the for some hot for the nights, and his heart caught fire, and his heart was no more. While he was returning in the evening, heart is burning, and he started crying. If the heart burns, how I'll sleep in the night? Who will save me from the cold and from the beast and the animals in the forest? So he came and prayed God, oh, what you have done. You have no mercy upon me, and what my life is. So everything ended. So how I live here? And he slept on the tree. And the next morning, he heart fully burned, only like smokes and all went up. And later on, he found some persons with boats. Some boats were came in at the beach, and he ran towards them and told them, "Okay, please rescue me." They asked him, "Okay, you need some help and all." "Yes, I need some help. I want to go back to my home. I want to go back to my town, but I don't know this island anymore. I was living island for last 2 years. Animals are there, beasts are there. Many times they attacked me. I rescued by climbing up on trees and all. I do not have food. I am hungry enough. I am very much depressed enough. Please rescue me." They said, "Friends, we know this island is very small one. Nobody is living except animal and beast. But we found some smoke coming from the island, and we thought, okay, somebody is there, some humans are there who got stuck up, and there is a need for rescue and all. So we came here. So you see, the heart burned, and there was a smoke, and due to that only he rescued. But he thought, the person thought, okay, heart burned, and so how I'll sleep? So everything finished. So by the time some like health comes to you and you are rescued. So similar thing happening in the market, but the market until unless you do not have hope upon your walk, but what I say, you keep your hope on the walk, but you should be studied enough because the market is only for the intelligent people, market is only for the people who keep hope and understand he is correct. If you are correct, if you understand, stick to that. But this is a very big market. You have to have very wide studies and all and keep hope. I kept hope while continued in the market with loss and all, adequate everything. This speech is only for those investors who lost money in the market. Keep your hope, but you should be prepared. The person who kept hope was thinking about his past at the island and but kept hope and continued his work. So you keep your hope, continue your work, work of what? Work of reading the capital markets, work of reading the individual company, work of understand the cycle not only for the market and sector, for each individual stock even. So keep your hope, continue your work. I say you can be rescued only by you only. Nobody can rescue you from suffering your loss or recovering your loss. Thank you friends, good night. Today I am not giving you any stock suggestion. This is only a discussion between you, my friends, and myself. Myself, brother, saying good night and have a very good time for recovering your loss and get back your money. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.